Assume versus presume. What's the difference? Just a quick reminder before we start, continually improve your English. Click the subscribe button, the bell icon, and then all. So in this video we'll consider 1. The main similarity between assume and presume. 2. The main difference between assume and presume. 3. The meaning of assume with illustrated sentence examples. 4. The meaning of presume with illustrated sentence examples. 5. An additional way in which assume is often used. And 6. An additional way in which presume is often used. So, let's start with the main similarity between assume and presume. Both words refer to a belief about something before it happens. And now, the main difference between assume and presume. Probability related to evidence. When you assume, you're not really sure due to lack of evidence. When you presume, you believe it's probable rather than just possible because of evidence to support your opinion. Let's now look at the definitions with illustrated sentence examples. First, assume, and the noun is assumption. Definition: to take for granted, to suppose, to guess, to formulate an opinion without solid evidence. In the picture, we see a man in the street looking at his watch. The sentence reads, "When his wife was late for their appointment, he assumed she was caught up in heavy traffic." So in assuming, he has an idea, but it's a guess. He's not really sure. Next, in the picture, we see a woman with a temperature holding her head. The sentence reads, "It could be dangerous to assume that the only symptoms of COVID are coughing, loss of smell, and fever." Here, the meaning is that it's unwise to just assume or guess that these are the only symptoms of COVID without proper diagnosis and more information. Now, let's look at presume. Presume, definition: to suppose something based on evidence or probability. In the picture, we see a woman in her kitchen preparing to cook, looking at her mobile phone. The sentence reads, "When she saw on her traffic app there was a major road accident nearby, she presumed her husband would be late home for dinner." In this example, she can be more certain about the time her husband would come home as she saw evidence on her traffic app regarding a probable delay. Next, the picture shows the famous meeting in the 19th century in Africa between Welsh-American explorer and journalist Henry Stanley and Dr. David Livingstone, a Scottish missionary and explorer. The sentence reads, "Dr. Livingstone, I presume." After months searching for Dr. Livingstone, he finally saw a European surrounded by Africans, which made it highly probable that this was Dr. Livingstone. Now, let's go back to the word assume and note another meaning. Assume, additional meaning, definition: to begin to have power or responsibility, or take on a specific role. The picture shows Lyndon B. Johnson being sworn in as President of the United States, with Jackie Kennedy by his side. The sentence reads, "Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson assumed the presidency after the assassination of President John Kennedy in November 1963. So Lyndon Johnson stepped into the position or role of president. Now let's look at another use of the word presume. Presume, additional meaning, definition: to go beyond your authority, position, or status. To do something when it's not your right or place to do it. The picture shows a transcript on the UK government website of a speech given by Sir James Bevan at a conference on climate change. The sentence reads, "I won't presume to lecture you about the fact or the causes of climate change. Most of you will understand it better than me." The speaker admits that the audience is possibly more knowledgeable than him about the subject, so he prefers not to go beyond his position by lecturing them, a role he doesn't feel qualified to fill. Here's a related word, Presumptuous is an adjective. Definition: going beyond the limits of what is permitted or appropriate, tending to presume. Here's an example. The picture shows an office with employees sat around a conference table. The sentence reads, "No one wanted to be presumptuous and sit in the boss's chair at the head of the table." In other words, the employees would feel uncomfortable if any of them sat in the boss's chair, as it would not be appropriate for them as an employee. So, to summarize, when you assume, you may think something is possible, but you're not really sure. When you presume, you think something is probable because of certain evidence, although it's still not 100% sure. Additionally, assume can mean to take on a position of responsibility, and presume can mean to say or do something that you do not have authority for. Has this video helped you? Then like, share or comment now, and build a powerful English vocabulary with my free course on Udemy. Just go to goodenglish.online.